Council of the Village of Evendale to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk will take the roll.
Mr. Sextro.
Here.
Ms. McDaniel. Here. Mr. Putoff.
Here.
Ms. Smiley-Robertson.
Here.
Mr. Albering.
Here.
Mr. Burke.
Here.
Okay, the minutes have been previously distributed. Is there any additions, corrections, or changes? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke.
Yes.
Mr. Albering.
Yes.
Ms. Smiley-Robertson.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel. Yes. Mr. Putoff.
Yes.
The minutes are approved. Next, we have the consensus calendar, and we'll begin with the Finance Committee.
Yeah, Mayor, another, not only just a good month, but a great month. We were 31% over same month last year with a total receipts of $1.7 million. Year to date, we're almost 10% over a year prior. September was the first year. We're about $1 million ahead of our record year. September was the first year we hit 13 million by September. So again,
That was a good year, too.
and that was, yeah. So that, again, over our record. So year to date, revenues exceed expenditures by about $3.5 million. So all positive, of course. That does not include a lot of the capital expenditures that we'll be looking to spend at the end of the year. So
Yes, we will.
the rec center, of course, we got the one of the highlights of the rec year is the Halloween Fest coming up on October 21st. Early bird pricing is still available through the 15th, which I guess is Friday. So if you're interested in going and get in ahead of time and sign up. Youth basketball signups are ongoing. Practices are going to begin in early November, so you've got a little bit of time, but so that the teams can be formed and everything. If you're interested, please contact the rec center as soon as possible. Also, the rec center has taken the initiative to create a new program with the idea of targeting a group of kids that aren't necessarily getting the attention that some of the other groups have provided. This is for 5th and 7th graders. It's called Impact 57. So it's kind of the pre-FI years and after the all the little kids programs. And so if you have a kid in the 5th to 7th grade, contact the rec and you get a little bit more information on that. Gorman Farm, the Sunflower Festival was this past weekend. Record attendance by several thousand. It was just a great weekend, great weather. Just a reminder that they will continue to have the Fall Fest through the end of the month. So anybody who's missed this past weekend, it doesn't have all the same activities, but you can still go down and enjoy the farm, get a pumpkin. There are still some sunflowers still left available if you want to pick a sunflower. Field trips, the field trip season is in full swing, and field trips for the spring registration already started. Also, the pork and the beef, the small number of pork and beef half shares are still available for order for those people who like to buy their meat in bulk. Contact the farm. Lastly, the service. The AED stations are now up and operable. You see them around a few places around the village, so those are now operational. The leaf bag, another Evendale tradition. Those are going to run through, October 28th on Saturdays. We still have, I guess, 2 more Wednesdays available that you can pick up 1 to 7. Remember that the bags are limited to 75 per family or per household. I know we've been kind of waiting. There's been some prep work done, but the resurfacing program is going to be starting in the next week or so, so be prepared for those streets, and everybody should know the streets that are going to be resurfaced here in the next, over the next month or so. And lastly, the EV station which is by the tennis courts. That is operational again. I got it fixed. That's all I have,
Okay.
Mayor.
Any comments, suggestions, changes? Okay. Go to police and fire.
Okay. For fire, you should have a copy of the fire marshal's position description, which we post. The application deadline for that is October 26th. The hiring committee has scheduled a meeting for the purpose of determining a fire inspector or interviewing candidates for fire inspector on November 28th. Year-to-date EMS billing collections are up 19% over last year at this time. And the department applied for a We Thrive grant for 7 more AEDs. As far as the police is concerned, we have an officer who's been assigned to the drug task force for the past 6 to 7 months, and the commander called and let us know how well he was doing. So we appreciate the feedback on that. Sergeant McCormick has really been doing a lot of work in terms of mental health, has really been going great guns on that. So that was a trouble area for us. I mean, to this point, we even have a card that has a QR code on it, say that 50 times, QR code on it for people to have, be able to know what resources are available to them that can be given to them at the time of an incident with someone who is experiencing some issues there. The department has met, Chief's met with the Princeton High School's resource officer. That's the wrong title, but anyhow, head of Princeton Security, as well as the principal of Evendale. What we're going to do or in the near future is transition away from just a DARE officer to having a school resource officer, and all parties are agreed that that's more effective. And we expect that an officer will spend an average of 2 to 4 hours per week there at Evendale Elementary. So, we have a couple of drones that have a technological glitch, so we're going to be purchasing a new drone. And the reason I also am bringing it up is because there's being more added to the capital for that. We intend to sell the drones. We can't repair them anymore, the ones that are having the problem. So all total, it's just an additional $12,000 being added into the capital budget. And I think that's pretty much on fire. Let me go to cultural arts. Probably noticed that the photo exhibit is up. And there were over 280 submissions for that, for about 80-ish slots available. And there were a higher number of Evendale residents who actually submitted entries this year. As far as programming, new class sessions that started in September. The music programs are booming, and not that other classes don't have good signups, but particularly strong as far as music. Art ventures, I'm going to refer you to the department's website or someone in the department for this month's art ventures. And I think that's it for cultural arts. And then for building, planning, and zoning, the Planning Commission had a public hearing on the rental registration program, got plenty of public feedback. So that's being taken under advisement. In other words, we're not going to schedule a meeting for council, would have to have a public hearing in order to change the ordinance, but we're not there yet. So just wanted to give you that feedback. Changes to our food truck program, are still under review. Yoda Quest is expanding. They're going to take over that whole building that they're located in. And we've seen a significant change in activity as far as Spartan Drive is concerned, and our building planning and zoning manager is meeting kind of biweekly with the property manager, so we're getting good results there. And that's our report.
Any questions, concerns?
I do have a question, it's curiosity. What's the difference between a resource officer and a DARE officer?
And the chief will take that one over.
Fortunately, the chief is here to give you an answer.
Thought he might.
So with the DARE Officer program, it was a structured curriculum that lasted about 10 weeks. And that was usually started sometime late January, early February, and that was largely taught to 4th and 5th graders. There was some assorted class presentations of some of the younger kids, but it was largely 4th and 5th graders. And I thought this, and when I talked to Evendale's principal, he agreed. Some of the curriculum had just gotten stale over the years. I mean, this is a curriculum that started back in the late 80s. It has evolved to a certain degree. Now, the difference with the school resource officer, so rather than him being up there for about 5 hours a week, because it was just 1 day a week for 10 weeks, it's still going to be our DARE officer. He will be there 2 to 4 hours a week, every week, and sort of mixing that up. So it'll be sort of unpredictable when an officer's there from a security standpoint, and it'll be more about developing relationships with the staff and the principal and the students across all the grade levels. It will give the school a constant point of contact, so when any issue comes up, they can reach out. It's going to be Anthony Smith. They can reach out to Anthony and say, hey, Anthony, such and such issue came up. Can you help us with this? And by the time you figure 30 weeks in a school year, if he's up there 2 to 4 hours a week, we'll end up having an officer at the school probably 3 to 4 times as many total hours as we did with the DARE program.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
I think the photo exhibit's going to be up until November 30th.
November 30th. Okay. Go look at the pictures again. They're all good. I don't know how they picked a winner. I really don't. I really don't. They're all good. Any other questions, comments?
Just have to applaud Sergeant McCormick for taking the effort and the time to learn more about mental illness and how to de-escalate and maybe even do an intervention with.
He's doing a
mental
valuable,
illness.
valuable.
That's
service.
commendable.
Valuable service to us.
Will that continue with other officers, Chief?
Yeah,
or-
all the officers get some mental health training, but with Tina involved, we're finding about more, especially the free mental health training, so.
Right. Does she get that at the academy, or is it another source of?
Most of it's ongoing now.
Okay.
Some comes from law enforcement sources, and some comes from different social service providers in the area.
Okay. Very good.
Any other comments, questions? If not, that will be the report of the Fire and Police Committee. I have a few things on my agenda. Senate Bill 75, you remember that is our effort to create a JED program for 2 municipalities. That passed out of the committee today in the Ohio Senate, and it's on the floor tomorrow for a vote. And Senator Blessing assures me that there's no opposition to it. It's going to sail through. It's had one amendment, and that was to say that the 2 municipalities had to be contiguous. And that doesn't bother me at all. I think it makes eminent sense. So that's going to be on tomorrow. I've already contacted Representative Miranda, our state rep, and I called Mayor Mumphrey today, and I asked her to make some contacts with some of the legislators that she knows. If we can get this thing moving in the House now, it'll be over by tomorrow. And I don't know whether we can get it done this year yet. It may be a problem, but we're sure going to try. And I think it's going to be a good thing for Village of Lincoln Heights and the Village of Evendale. Town meeting is set for November the 5th. Your assignments are the same as last year. Do you remember what they are? Except for finance, because Councilman Albrink will not be able to attend it this year. And I'll just take care of the finance report as part of my agenda, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, that's.
Okay. So we'll get this printed up then and ready to go for you quickly as possible. Just remember, voting is November the 7th, and let's hope it's a sunshiny day. We took a tour of the rec center this week, myself and the service director, looking at beginning phase 3 over there of the renovation. I think it's phase 3, isn't it? Phase 3. Phase 1 and 2 are done, but phase 3, which goes down toward the health complex, still has to be done. The one thing that we did look at that kind of got me was the racquetball courts. They have become unusable, and they are, as a result, not used. We have, I think, maybe 2 people in the village that play racquetball, if that, but the water is coming through the bricks, and it's coming up from the floor also, and it's just destroyed the situation. So we're going to have some engineers or architects take a look at the building and see what we can do to probably repurpose the racquetball courts as some other use that can be more utilized other than the way they are now. I attended the H2O dedication down at the Gorman Heritage Farm, which was the culmination of their water project, if you remember. And I learned something new. I learned that it was a rock quarry, granite rock quarry originally, and the granite for the house was apparently quarried down there at the Gorman Farm. And really, the use of the H2O grant has turned out to be very practical. Nicole told me that where we were standing for the dedication, on rainy days, you would be up to your hips in water. Now it is drained naturally down through the soil so that basically it stays dry. So we had a person from the auditor's office who came down as well, and he's going to try to bring the auditor down here to take a look at it. I have a picture. I think you've all seen it, but I don't know whether we can pick this up on camera or not. But we're going to have a big markup available for the town meeting, am I correct, for everybody to take a look at. It's really going to be a nice building. We may hold council in there for all I know. It looks that good. And then the county has approved $4 million more in the stack for the gun range, which brings it up to $30 million. And they indicate now they're pretty well ready to go on the situation. And I remind you that Denise, Commissioner Driehaus will be here next month on the, what day is it, 8th of November, 7th of November?
The Wednesday after for our next council.
At our next council meeting.
Yeah, it would be
Denise,
the 8th.
she'll be here for that, and I'm sure she'll be talking a little more about that, among other things.
Council is Wednesday?
Well, because Tuesday is election day.
That's committee.
Yeah.
That's committee
No,
meeting.
no, she's coming on council, for the council meeting.
That's the 14th.
That's the
The
14th.
14th, yeah, 14th. But she'll be here, so you can have your questions all ready for her as to what's happening in the county and what's going on, and I'm sure she'll be glad to answer them. She's been a prime mover of this thing. She's helped us, gosh, we couldn't do without her. Could not do without her, right? Mr. Elmer, I'm sure you agree. Could not do without her. And it's probably campaign season next year. Okay, any other questions, comments?
Just, you mentioned the town meeting and election day, 5th and 7th respectively. Just a reminder that the committee meetings are that Monday, the 6th.
Correct. That's a good point. That's a good point. Committee meetings are that Monday.
that Monday instead of Tuesday. And we'll have to maybe have the tents available. All right, we ready to go to the ordinances? We ready? Ordinance, first one is 23-53, and I'd like permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Is it 53 or 54?
What?
53, 53.
53.
Okay, sorry.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the payment of amounts due upon certain contracts requiring certification of availability of funds and declaring an emergency. This is an ordinance that's necessary every month. One of the things we got a bit of criticism last night was we don't explain enough about the ordinances that we have out. So I'm going to try to give a little more about it in talking about them. We put them in
Mayor,
our...
and also, when, like, declaring it an emergency, it's not like it's really a, you may
Well-
want to make it more,
Declaring it an emergency, if we didn't declare it an emergency, we'd have to
Revote.
wait 90 days for these
and
things.
that's why, I'm just saying residents are asking why is everything an emergency? You may want to just,
Because they'd have to wait 90 days for it to go into effect is the main reason. We have some that are not emergencies, and we wait the time and so forth, but it's hard to explain to the constituency as to why we have so many emergency ordinances, but we do. All right, I motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance.
so moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Now a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Now a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 23-53 adopted as an emergency. Next is ordinance 23-54, and I'd also need permission to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
An ordinance approving transfer within the fire department and declaring an emergency. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Now may I have a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
And now declare ordinance 23-54 adopted as an emergency. Next is ordinance 23-55. I need a motion to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
An ordinance approving an additional appropriation from the Drug Law Enforcement Trust Fund and declaring it as an emergency. As I understand it, it's necessary, we have to do this because some of this money goes to the Hamilton County Prosecutor. Is that correct, Chief?
Yes, that's correct.
That's why we have to do this ordinance. Okay. Now may I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Now I need the motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 2355 adopted as an emergency. Next, we have ordinance 2356. I'd like a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Anthem and Superior Dental Care to provide comprehensive health insurance and dental care benefits to full-time village employees and declaring it as an emergency. I'd like Mr. Elmer to give us a little background and where we stand or what's going on with this ordinance. It's pretty important.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. So, as you know, over the years, to try to provide the best medical plan possible for employees, but also being cost conscious, we've ultimately switched carriers on and off for years and years and years. Prices continue to escalate while planned richness continues to go down. Fortunately, this year, in trying to be proactive, we met directly with Anthem representatives who are our current care providers, plan design providers, or TPA, and expressed our desire to establish long-term relationship with them with the hopes that we would see rather affordable rates. As a result of that meeting, they proposed to the village a, quote, no-shop renewal of our existing plan design at 4% increase in premium. You may recall in the past, we've seen increased premiums or premium increases to retain our existing plan design as high as 52%, 25%. And so the likes of having a 4% increase this year was quite phenomenal, and to do so before the end of the year. We're typically doing this at November, December, but this year we're able to get it in front of you all for consideration early in October. So that's good news from the major medical Anthem perspective. The other good news is that our dental plan with Superior came back at a 0% increase to retain our same plan design. So those are the two plan renewals in front of you under this ordinance.
Plus no design change in the plan.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Designs
no-
changes,
It's the same plan
plan
we
designs
have,
remain exactly the same.
which is vital also. Any other questions? Okay. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sextro? Ms.
Yes.
Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
I now declare ordinance 23-56 adopted as an emergency. Next, we have ordinance 23-04. This is a resolution, and I need a motion to read it by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
A resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. I believe This is necessary for county budgeting purposes, am I correct, Ms. Karachi? And basically, our taxes are going to stay the same. Zero property tax. Any questions?
Yeah, I just, happened to notice on there that one of the council members' names isn't on here.
Oh,
Aren't we accepting it today?
Yeah, we're accepting it today, but my name's not on there, I noticed it too, but,
Okay.
I'll put you on there.
what?
I'll put you on there.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
Get the bill, too. Okay, may I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to, I need a motion to adopt the ordinance as an emergency. A resolution as an emergency.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the resolution as an emergency.
So moved.
Second?
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
I now declare Resolution 53-04 adopted as an emergency. Next, we have Resolution 23-05. I'd like permission to read it by title only.
So moved. Second?
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
A resolution approving the Ohio Department of Commerce Division of Liquor Control Economic Development Transfer Form, TREX, application to Cincinnati Asia Market CAM, and declaring as an emergency. This is a liquor permit transfer from outside the village to CAM's market. We don't have any available liquor permits in the community, and therefore, if one is transferred in, they need to be approved by council, and I think by the police chief, and signed by me also. And this is for CAM's market, and they want to have a beer and wine license.
So do they go out and find the,
I think they had somebody, I think we've been dealing with an attorney from
They're
Columbus.
liquor brokers, and they'll go out and you can acquire one from another community that is not using them. There's a whole business.
You know, in the resolution, it said a $50,000 investment. Is that what it cost them to get that license?
Well, my understanding always that liquor licenses are what the cost of the permit is, but very practically, you buy some public or some private property with it, and that's how the fee goes. But I don't know whether that's true or not here, but that's where the fees come in. And somebody makes a buck. May I have a motion to suspend the second and third reading of the ordinance,
So moved.
of the resolution?
second?
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause of the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to adopt the resolution as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
I now declare resolution 2305 adopted as an emergency. Is there any other business to come before council tonight? And I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Give me a second here. Mr. Putoff?
Yes.
Mr. Sextro?
Yes.
Ms. McDaniel?
Yes.
Ms. Smiley Robertson?
Yes.
Mr. Burke?
Yes.
Mr. Albrecht?
Yes.
Council's adjourned.